Hey everyone, it's Alex, and welcome to the Marvel Snap Decks of the Week, the weekly series where I showcase the top 10 best decks in Marvel Snap. And if you'd like to support the content, consider hitting that like button. It's free and it helps tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. This week, we're doing things a little differently. First of all, we do have 11 decks instead of 10 because we do have the bonus deck for Infinity Ultron, who does not make the top 10. However, we're also splitting the top 10 into halves. The first half is going to be 5 decks that are the statistical best decks for ranked matchmaking, and then the next 5 decks will be the statistical best decks for high voltage matchmaking, and these are according to untapped base statistics, and the ranked set is infinite only, and the high voltage is, well, there is no infinite only, so that's just an all aggregated statistic. So let's get started with deck number 1, which is actually deck number 11, the bonus deck for the weekend mission, and that's Infinity Ultron running a 57% win rate and a very modest 0.23 cube rate. This is currently the best version of Infinity Ultron. It is an Arishem shell running the Eson. It's pretty good, but the thing is that Infinity Ultron is largely underperforming in terms of current statistics, but ultimately it looks like Infinity Ultron is underperforming overall, and again, we will discuss it fully on the Snapchat. That's going to take us into our ranked top 5 decks, and this is going to be starting with Agent Havoc running a 57% win rate and a 0.39 cube rate, and this is a deck that honestly I've liked a lot for a while, and it comes in and out of the top 10. I think it's a deck that a lot of people forget about, but when you have the Bast and Agent Venom combination with very high impact cards like Havoc and Thena, you make some magic happen here. And you also have some cube stealers in Cosmo and Juggernaut. Sage is a tremendously high value card. Cassandra Nova is one of the ones that I find a little less synergistic here. But of course, if it gets hit with Bast or if it gets hit with Agent Venom, it's a tremendously high power card because it's just pure stats, especially when you consider the negative effect being applied as well. But if that doesn't happen, it doesn't feel nearly as great. But Sage, what a great finisher. US Agent loves all these cards because US Agent doesn't care about any of these cards. It only really impacts your opponent. So Agent Havoc, a really fun list. It's a little interesting to pilot at first, but once you get the hang of it and once this deck starts flowing, it's an absolute banger. Just make sure you don't Bast your demon when it pops into your hand. It's a fantastic deck, one definitely worth playing. That's going to take us to number 4, and it is going to be Doom 2099. Doom 2099 is running a 58% win rate, 0.31 cube rate. The cube rate seems to fluctuate a little bit. It's revolving around this like 0.30, which is generally considered good. This deck goes up and down, especially with the popularity of Enchantress. This is an excellent Captain Carter deck if you're wishing to get the Captain Carter missions out of the way. The Doom 2099 and the Dr. Doom combination in line with, your Blue Marvels and obviously your Spectrum finishers and stuff like that. This tends to be a very strong deck. It's worth noting that right now, because of the weekend missions, Super Scroll tends to be a good play still because there are people looking to get that Agent or Captain Carter kind of mission out of the way. They are going to be playing a lot of ongoing. Ongoing happens to be popular in high voltage as well. So ultimately, if you're looking to get that good old weekend mission done for the season pass card, Doom 2099 is going to be the way to go. That's going to take us to number 3, and that is Scream. There's been so many different variations of Scream making a high impact. Last week we had this Ajax Cook, which was very interesting, and this week, would you believe it or not, we've got ourselves just literally straight up Scream. My Hydra Bob has no border. I know why. Because I actually pulled that in a cache. I was like, I want to remember to pick my own border, so I favorited it. I forgot to do that. Anyways, it's Hydra Bob. I got the new variant. Cool. Anyways, so we have Scream here, and it's straight up traditional Scream. Staggy in there, Arrow in there. The one that's obviously been removed is Magneto, which you often saw in favor of a much stronger play on turn 2. Still running the Iron Patriot, which is used in conjunction with Rocket and Groot. Captain America, Kraven, excellent in this deck as well. This is a great list, and this should come to no surprise that it's running a 59% win rate, 0.51 cube rate. Like, it absolutely crushes. It's just a solid deck. It has been for months. It's endured nerfs. I mean, even Arrow took a bit of a stray. I mean, Scream's gotten changed to nerf. Iron Patriot's gotten nerfed. Rocket and Groot has gotten nerfed, and still here we are. Still gaming with Scream. And how can I forget? Obviously, Hydra Bob got nerfed too. Bobbert got nerfed, Hydration Bobbert. But the deck still runs near the absolute top here. So we're going to be going to number 2, and it's Silver Surfer running a 60% win rate and a 0.58 cube rate. Now, this Surfer deck is interesting from a standpoint. It is a pure meta call Surfer deck, and that's why you're seeing success. 60% win rate, 0.58 cube rate. But I'll be honest with you, as someone who is a thorough Silver Surfer enjoyer, this is not particularly the type of Silver Surfer that I like to play. I mean, it has good stuff in it. Obviously, you have the Luke Cage for a lot of the toxic stuff that's going on, which is still very, very popular. But overall, Gorgon, an excellent choice right now as a 2-drop in Silver Surfer, because not only does it mess up the Infinity Ultrons, which you're seeing for the weekend missions, you are messing up the Thanos as well. It messes up the Bullseye combinations with Daken, because Daken's shard is no longer a 1 cost, it'll be a 2 cost. Makari's in here, but like for me, it's like, okay, you got Makari, but usually Makari is best played with like things that buff the deck in the hand, so Nakias, Okoyes, Fastos, and etc. So you're getting that extra value from the drop. It has Galacta, which obviously is tremendous here, but it lacks something like a Sebastian Shaw. So you're leaning very much into the tech side of things, but you're removing some other parts, right? And so ultimately, this deck here, while statistically performing well, I'll be honest with you, I don't expect to see this deck remaining the top contending Surfer deck in the meta right now. Obviously, I love Sage as a closer. I feel like I just finished talking about Sage. But overall, if you want to try kind of a new take on Silver, this is statistically leading the way, but I wouldn't expect it to continue leading the way as kind of we see more cooking with Silver Surfer. But I like a new take on it. It's worth giving a shot if you're a Silver Surfer enjoyer. And that's going to take us to number 1, which is going to be Toxic, as I alluded to prior, running a 65% win rate, a 0.83 cube rate in ranked. Toxic is absolutely crushing it right now. And honestly, Laufey's making the deck, high Evo for the Abomination, Hazmat, of course. And it's kind of funny to think that, like, Sam Wilson still makes this deck, really, but statistically, Sam Wilson makes this deck better. Win rate's higher with Sam Wilson in it. And so when you start to see stuff like Sam Wilson just kind of providing straight up value, and you're like, okay, maybe this card is probably a little OP since it's borderline non-synergistic with this deck, but it's enough to warrant running like a Spider-Man Morales in, right? Just that's enough. And obviously you have the Juggernaut as well. But it's kind of funny how you have this core shell of Toxic, and for whatever reason, you can just add Sam Wilson in it, and the deck simply becomes better. It's absolutely crushing it right now. Although, with all the ranked decks, we are seeing a decrease in the number of statistics made available because of the prevalence of high voltage, which we'll be talking about right now. Now, this is a Surfer deck that I can get behind. Classic Sarah Surfer. The other one was a meta cook, but if you want something that is tried, tested, and true, look no further. And by the way, you can definitely take this into ranked. You got the classic Nova Killmonger package, Forge into Brood, into Absman, into Sarah. Doesn't get much more straightforward than that. Classic Galacta Gwenpool gameplay in here. You got the tech of Red Guardian. You have the unpredictability and the fun factor of Copycat. There's just, what can't you love about this deck? This is an absolute beauty, running a 59.6% win rate in high voltage. The only challenge is that, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm getting a lot of missions in high voltage that are like, play a bunch of 6 costs, play a bunch of 5 costs. And so, hey, you don't have much options with this. Hopefully you get lots of 3 costs, and you can play this Sarah Surfer deck. Oh, on that note, by the way, how awful is the Win 3 missions location, that is garbage. I hope that honestly they remove that, because there is no way that that is a fun experience for anybody playing high voltage. It's the 500 volt kind of like mission, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get this done, and now it's just going to occupy my 500 volt slot forever, basically, until you get lucky, you get some bot, which there's definitely bots in high voltage. What am I even talking about, man? I'm all over the place. But anyways, long story short, Sarah Surfer making a comeback. Please second dinner, get rid of that stupid mission, win 3 locations, like that. Good call. That's a lot of fun in a fun game mode. Going to number 4, we do have Sauron. Now, why this actually makes me laugh is because this is Sauron that doesn't even have Starbrand. This is like legit classic Sauron Shuri. Like, this is crazy. 61% win rate high voltage. And I think part of that is because it's the Enchantress. Enchantress is feasting on ongoing. And so you're able to get a lot of value. There are people playing Tribunal. There are people playing straight up ongoing shells, obviously to get the weekend mission done as well. And Enchantress is high. I win, you lose. I mean, yes, okay, fine. You're kind of poo-pooing on the parade with Enchantress gameplay. But if you want to win games, then you can do it with Enchantress, and it's 20 volts a win, I guess. But honestly, this is also a deck that you could likely take on to the ladder. I shouldn't say that. The Sauron version with the Starbrand is definitely more ladder capable. But anyways, I thought it was funny that according to Untapped, we had a very classic take on Sauron. And again, you have the Ebony Maw that can be played at any point in high voltage because it's only 3 turns, and so you can just play them on turn 3. You have the classic Shuri into Vision into Taskmaster play. It's just a fun deck, a lot to like here. But running a 61% win rate did kind of surprise me, especially since it's not the version that has Starbrand in it. Going to number 3 is Black Panther. This should surprise absolutely no one. Black Panther is always a part of the mix when it comes to high voltage. People want to go high flying with huge power in Black Panther here. And again, you do have that Ebony Maw. You have some good tech cards for high voltage. A lot of the game modes, of course. Negasonic, Teenage Warhead in there. And it's funny because Negasonic was incredible in the prior game mode, Sanctorum Showdown, and to the point that it actually got banned eventually because it was just too crazy. This is literally just a good cards deck featuring the Arnim Zola Black Panther finish. You've got the Red Hulk in there. People tend to float a lot of energy in the high voltage because they're often playing like with very greedy decks, and sometimes like, oh, I don't actually have enough mana to fill this properly or whatever, and so they end up floating a bunch of mana, or they don't have enough cards to use their mana appropriately. But honestly, it's just a good card shelf. Black Panther, Wiccan. Getting Wiccan out on turn 1 in the new mode high voltage is a ton of fun. Like, it's getting that Wiccan out, you'd be like, man, the world is my oyster now, right? So a very good deck, one that you can turn to get those dubs, and again, it does well for the weekend missions. Then we go to the one that really does well in the mode high voltage, and that is going to be Ultron. Now, one of the reasons why Ultron does so well is because you have very limited turns to kind of generate that attack on the board. Ultron's a great catch-all of like, hey, we only got 3 turns, and guess what? I can fill up pretty much every single spot. And you're so effective with your use of energy here because like you have great plays. Like even if like on turn 1 you just play Patriot, and then on turn 2 you just play Blue Marvel and Ant-Man. On turn 3, you just play Ultron, and you might actually just win. It's a very clean, straightforward approach to playing high voltage. Is it the most engaging high voltage gameplay? No, but if you're looking to just get some high voltage wins, and you can turn to Ultron, honestly. It's 62.2% win rate right now in high voltage. That's a big number. That's a lot. And I love the fact that just for funsies, it does have the Juggernaut. It does run like the Negasonic in there. So it is a bit of a cook for high voltage specifically to kind of punish those greedy players. But honestly, it's doing great, and it's going to take us to our number 1 deck of the week. And our number 1 deck in high voltage is going to be Ongoing, featuring a 62% win rate and Professor X. The greedy thing about this is on turn 1, sometimes you get to just throw down Professor X in like the right location, which is usually you want to play them, because even if they play there, you've locked down a location, and then you get to reach there with Mr. Fantastic and Moonstone. You can take the Captain America Sam Wilson shield, throw it in there, you're like, Alex, that's only 1 power. You might need more than that. Well, that's why you got Spectrum, who adds 2 to Professor X, 2 to the shield as well, plus the Mr. Fantastic, plus the Moonstone, and suddenly you find yourself in a situation where you're clapping cheeks because you're able to shut down locations rather rapidly. Generally speaking, if you're able to play Professor X, you're playing them on that right location. You want the center location for Mr. Fantastic and for Moonstone. Players tend to favor playing left, in my experience, in high voltage. So if you take Professor X on turn 1, throw him left, you're probably going to be contesting it. Who knows what you contest it against, especially if you have Fantastic and Moonstone, you're probably able to trade it anyways. But it is worth noting that it is something you need to consider. Regardless, guys, thank you so much for watching. I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you have fun playing high voltage this week in Marvel Snap.